This is the Lead Word. I am your host, Chad Bauman. With me, as usual, my partner, Trey. Today is Wednesday, October 23rd. It's been a really shitty week. The Eagles lost, the Cowboys won, and my fantasy team lost, so 0 for 3 this week. Trey, how's it going with you, though?
You know, I was in such a good mood, Chad, and then I watched the Celtics team tonight, and I just know they're going to be a headache for me all year. You know, I don't know what to make of them. One day I wake up, and I feel hopeful, and I feel excited, and then it's not even – actually, I should rephrase that. Within an hour, I feel hopeful, and then I feel screwed, and then I feel hopeful. So I'm going to have to cancel the Celtics or something because this is not healthy for my health. You know what I mean? It's a big roller coaster. Hopeful, disaster, hopeful, disaster. I don't know if I could take this the whole year.
You sound like an Eagles fan.
Chad, this team, they come out, they look firing. You know, they look pretty good tonight. They made 50% of their free throws tonight. They missed like 20 free throws. You can't win like that. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, no! We suck again!
They were just scared. They didn't want to mess with the Sixers. They knew what we were going to do to them if they made the free throws.
I'm going to have to cancel them or something because this is not good for my mental health. It's really not. Up and down, up and down. I don't know if I can handle this all year.
You sound just like an Eagles fan.
No Eagles for you this week, but you do have a takeaway, Chad.
Yeah.
I don't even know what. Week 7. There it is.
Yeah, it's week 7. An abysmal week 7. Takeaway number 1 for me. There's been some rumors, some talks. Apparently, Chicago has some interest in trading for Cam Newton, which, if you're Carolina, makes sense. You got Kyle Allen. He's slinging the rock. Interesting stat that I heard this past week. Kyle Allen is the only quarterback in the NFL history to start his first 5 games and not throw an interception. Fun fact.
Wow.
Guy 7-0.
He is on fire.
Or no, I'm sorry. He's 7 touchdowns, no interceptions. We talked about it a little bit last week, I think, and he has a 4-0 record. Or no, yeah, he does because 4-0.
Yeah, he's 4-0, 5-0 if you can include last year.
So, yeah, I mean, if you're Carolina, trading Cam Newton at this point looks like something that you're probably looking to do. I mean, because you got, the way I see it, ride this Kyle Allen thing out, you know, as far as it'll take you. Worst case scenario, he falls off at the trade deadline and you start looking to draft a guy.
And you just drafted Will Grier in the 3rd round. So it's not like you don't have a backup.
That is true. I did forget about Will Grier. I mean, if you're Chicago, you got to move on from Mitch Trubisky, and I think we saw why against the Saints. Now, the Saints have a pretty good defense. They're not just the offense anymore like they were for the longest time. They actually do have a pretty good defense now. But, I mean, trading for Cam Newton, for me, that's a big no because, I mean, at the most, or at the least, I should say, you're probably giving up a 2nd-round pick for him. And we're talking about a quarterback that's 30 years old, and he's coming off of 2 seasons where he's ended the season pretty much injured. I mean, I guess technically he could still play this season, but, you know, he's already missed a significant amount of time. I mean, if it's me, I just put Case Keenum in the game.
Pause.
Get Trubisky out of there. And let Case Keenum go to work. Let my defense do what they've been doing. You know, knocking the snot out of people. And, I mean, at least Case Keenum can complete a 5-yard pass. Like, that's the state.
You know what?
That's the state of the Bears' offense right now. Like, we're like celebrating a guy just because he can get the ball to the receiver.
I have a stat for you, Chad, actually. So right now, Mitch Trubisky is averaging 8 yards per completion. Every time he completes a pass, it goes an average of 8 yards. That would be the lowest mark in NFL history if we averaged that for an entire season. Lowest ever for a starting quarterback. Ever. Of any quarterback in the history of football.
I mean, it's embarrassing. I don't know how you play on their defense and not put hands on Mitch Trubisky after every game.
Well, I think that's a good point because I think it's starting to affect the Bears' defense. Do you not agree? Because Teddy Bridgewater carved them up pretty well. I think this Bears defense is kind of starting to quit and say, hey, we can't hold guys to 10 points every week.
Help me! Help me!
We can't do this every week.
I think they are too. And you could see it progressively get worse and worse in that game. Like, after the first quarter, they just started giving up more and more yards. And eventually it got to the point where they were the Saints were starting at the 50-yard line on every drive, and they were just like, fuck it, if the offense isn't going to score, we're not going to stop them. That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah. I think this Bears offense is so bad that it's actually making the Bears defense worse. And this is a really, really good defense.
I swear to God, it felt like every possession the Saints were starting with at like the 50-yard line.
Let me play a little devil's advocate here, though. Let's say Cam Newton is healthy. I think this kind of makes sense for the Bears because of one reason. They don't have a first-round pick next year, Chad. If you wanted to go draft a quarterback next year, you can't. Because of the Khalil Mack trade, you have no first-round pick. So you're going to wait all the way in the middle of the second round to take your guy? And you really don't have picks to move up because you gave some for Khalil Mack. You gave some up for moving up for Trubisky. They had 3 draft picks last year, Chad. Like, this team has no picks.
I mean, again, my thing is you're giving up a second rounder to get him. And it's not like they have the greatest offense either.
I think they got to do something. I'm not saying it's got to be Cam. But you can't ride with Trubisky.
I'm saying I wouldn't trade for Cam, but yeah, bench Trubisky.
They have to do something here. Because this defense, you give them an average offense, they can win the Super Bowl.
They would be average with Case Keenum at quarterback. Or Chase Daniel, I'm sorry. That's who they have. Case Keenum was being a bum in Washington, I forgot.
I kind of thought you were suggesting that they should trade for Case Keenum. That's what I thought you meant the whole time.
I did not mean that. I mean, but they're both, like, either way. Like, Case Keenum, Chase Daniel, they would at least make their team average. And we've seen, I mean, and I guess prime example, Case Keenum, we've seen what he can do with a good defense.
Let's say Chicago had Bridgewater right now. That's a Super Bowl team.
Yeah. I don't disagree. Teddy Bridgewater's been looking good these last few weeks. I don't know how much of that is Sean Payton. I don't know how much of that is Teddy, but still. You just need a guy that can complete a pass. Like the one play, Trubisky threw the ball to Tariq Cohen in the backfield. He overthrew him in the backfield.
What's the matter? You have a little puss?
What about the moment where the New Orleans Saints were clowning on Tariq Cohen for his height?
That's the play where he overthrew Tariq Cohen in the backfield.
This Bears team has lost all swagger. When you're clowning on Tariq Cohen for his height, your team's done. Drastic changes need to be made.
You could tell Matt Nagy is just so frustrated with Mitch Trubisky. Like, he looks like he wants to just grab him and just shake him. Every play, he wants to just yell at him. Matt Nagy looks like Phillip Rivers when he interacts with Anthony Lynn.
Speaking of Matt Nagy, does he deserve any blame here? And I don't think he does, but one of the big issues I had with this game was they ran the ball 7 times. You can't have Trubisky coming off a shoulder injury and then run the ball 7 times. He's not going to win if you pass more than 20 times anyway. So you got to be more committed to the run here.
Oh, trust me, I was like, give the ball to Tariq Cohen all game.
Just, you can't run the ball 7 times. Especially with that quarterback.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Anything else on the Bears?
No, that's it. Just, I would not trade for Cam Newton.
All right. I guess I will start my takeaway then. Takeaway number 1. Kind of more of a broad thing. Poor New York sports fans, Chad. God, do they have it rough. I mean, the Mets are the Mets, and they're always cursed, and those scumbag Yankees got eliminated, but that's beside the point. And the Knicks are about to open up their season, and they had all sorts of hope that they were going to land Durant and Irving, and they struck out completely. And the Nets, even though they land those 2 guys, they're kind of more known in Jersey. But that's besides the point. This isn't about them. This is about the 2 New York football teams. Chad, let's start with the Giants. This was a display of Kyler Murray and Daniel Jones, the top 2 rookie quarterbacks that got picked in this most recent draft. And Chad, I don't think there's any doubt that if you watch that game, I think Kyler Murray is significantly better than Daniel Jones.
They are who we thought they were.
Daniel Jones had a little bit of a debut. People got all excited, and this guy just sucks. He looks worse and worse and worse every week. Every single team, every single quarterback this year has carved up Arizona, except Daniel Jones. He couldn't have looked worse against one of the worst defenses in the NFL, and everybody has carved up Arizona this year. Kyler Murray, he looked great. Daniel Jones against a bad Cardinals defense, terrible. And then let's get to the Jets here, Chad. Because this game was over before it started. Poor Sam Darnold was seeing ghosts out there. He was getting hit after a half second. He's throwing the ball to New England constantly. Le'Veon Bell is just total garbage. Nobody's getting open. This offensive line is horrendous. Adam Gase is getting out-schemed and out-coached and outmanned and outgunned. 33-0. This roster stinks. I've used them in Madden, and they're horrible. This is one of the worst rosters in the NFL, and this team just had no shot. This game was over before it started. Poor New York football fans. How do you root for them? How do you go to bed at night and say, we have hope? God, is it brutal?
Oh no! We suck again!
I could be missing a Giants win here, but I don't think I am. The New York teams, they're combined, what? 1 and... I don't know.
No, they have
12?
3 wins. 3 total wins. 3 total wins.
Right. You know what? I forgot the Jets. They got a win against the Cowboys. And I must have been missing a Giants win there somewhere. But
remember they won that last second field goal against Tampa. The Tampa Bay kicker shanked the field goal.
What was the Giants' other win? Because I remember that one.
The Redskins.
Oh, so, I mean, that doesn't really count.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough, dude. And I as an Eagles fan, I'm glad the Giants are a shitty team. But I feel bad for the Jets fans. Giants fans not very sympathetic, but it's bad with Daniel Jones because the one pick that he threw, the one to Jordan Hicks. I don't know what he was looking at. Because it was like I don't know who the Giants receiver was. It might have been their tight end, but it was like him, and then standing on either side of him was a Cardinals player. I was like, if one of them didn't pick it off, the other guy's gonna get it. There was no way he could have been looking at this guy like, oh shit, he's open. It's not possible.
I think he looks terrible.
The only excuse that you might be able to come up with is Daniel Jones colorblind?
I mean, I get that he's a rookie, and I get rookie quarterbacks are going to make mistakes, and I get the Giants, they don't have a good team around him, but he just doesn't look good. And he's looking worse every week.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, rookie quarterbacks are going to make mistakes. I get that too, but This pick was so bad. Like, you can't. The only way you can make that mistake is if you can't differentiate the differences between the color white and the color red or the color blue.
I think like it would be one thing if he's making mistakes. He just doesn't even make throws that look good. Like there's no moments where he just goes, "Aha, that's gonna be our future." You know, like there's never a moment where he makes a throw and he just, "Wow, that looked good." Never a moment.
I'm not impressed by your performance.
I mean, even on his, you're right. Even on his completions, a lot of his completions are off target. The ball's either late or it's behind the receiver or some other, something happens.
And let's talk about the Jets. This team is just a fucking mess. Coming into the week, they're getting in arguments with Kelechi Osemele, how Osemele wants shoulder surgery and the team won't let him. And now the team is suing him because he's refusing to play. And now he wants his release. And Adam Gase and Greg Williams apparently hate each other. And Quincy Enunwa's out for the year, and he may never play again. And Le'Veon Bell just sucks. And
Sam
they're
Darnold's
down to
haunted.
He's seeing ghosts, and he's getting mono. And they got their third string left tackle out there. They had to pull a center out of retirement, Ryan Khalil. I mean, good hell. Like that game looked like Troy against Alabama if Troy had a promising rookie prospect. Just the Jets were completely out-coached, out-manned, out-schemed, out everything.
Yeah, I mean, as a Jets fan, you're high coming into this game because you're like, oh, we just beat the Cowboys, blah 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 blah, and you just get shellacked by the Patriots.
They can't win unless Darnold's heroic. That's the problem. They don't have good players. If he's not heroic, they can't win.
And he was like the opposite of heroic against the Patriots.
But the problem is nobody would have had a shot in that game. It almost didn't matter who the quarterback would have been. It didn't have a shot. Like, nobody was winning that game. I don't care who it was.
It's rough. I mean, with Osemele's injury, like, even there, it's not just like... Even there, it's just, like, completely dysfunctional. Because apparently, they get the first opinion from the doctor. Then they go to a second doctor, and they send him a blank x-ray. And then they're like, oh shit, we sent the blank x-ray. So they send him an x-ray that's not even Osemele. Like what is going on? Like, it'd be one thing if it was just like,
Jets.
I can get like, okay, we're disputing this player's claim that he can't come back. That's one thing. But to not even be able to send it a fucking fax properly, like this is like Cleveland levels of incompetence we're talking about.
That's the Jets right there. This team is a fucking mess. And let's talk about the ghost thing. How do you let this guy get mic'd up, and how do you let that get on the air? You can't. Like, nobody in the Jets front office thought it was maybe a bad idea to have Sam Darnold mic'd up against the New England Patriots with like 3 offensive linemen down. Like, nobody thought that was a bad idea. Nobody raised their hand in the building and said, you know what? Let's mic up Lev Bell today. Nobody thought of that.
I mean, I get where Darnold's coming from, but
I'm not putting it on him.
Well, I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying I feel for Darnold is what I'm saying. Like,
he probably was seeing ghosts. I would have been seeing ghosts.
Help me! Help me!
Poor Sam Darnold. He's hearing footsteps. He's seeing ghosts. He can't even go to sleep tonight because he's having nightmares about Bill Belichick.
He got hit on every snap. Oh man.
I think maybe there's a time delay, isn't there? Like, somebody from the Jets organization couldn't hit like the little beep, the buzzer, like when he says it.
Oh my god. The poor New York sports fans. What a mess. You think you have it rough in Philly. Imagine rooting for those teams.
I'm supposed to wear myself out for the team? What team?
Well, I mean, at least if you're a Giants fan or a Jets fan, you know you suck. They don't go out and beat Green Bay one game and then come back and, well, I guess if you're the Jets, maybe they do.
I guess that's it for me. You got one more takeaway here, Chad?
Yeah. Yep, I do. My next takeaway is we're going to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Going to talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Aaron Rodgers. With every week, he's getting better and better in this offense of Matt LaFleur's. Because like he started out they start out the season against the Bears and we're like, okay, the Packers finally have a defense, blah blah blah, is kind of like the national like storyline. And the next week comes along, Aaron Rodgers has a pedestrian game. Then he has another pedestrian game. Then they play the Eagles and he torches the Eagles secondary, but it's like whatever, everybody's had a career day against the Eagles so far this year. And he just keeps getting better. Perfect passer rating on Sunday. I didn't know this, but you told me before we recorded the show that's the first one in Green Bay history, apparently. And it's not like he had one of those like perfect passer ratings where he threw for like 10 times for like 100 yards or whatever and a touchdown. He was slinging the ball the entire game. Like he dropped. Yeah. How many times he dropped back? Like 25, 30?
I don't know. I didn't have that one out, but I mean that's just crazy to think about considering Brett Favre also played for this team. Like he never had a perfect one either. 31 attempts, 429 yards.
How many completions? Like 28, right?
25 of 31, 429, 5 touchdowns.
Like that's insane.
Yeah. Throwing the ball deep down the field, you can't get that many yards if you don't.
And not to mention, like I said, he's getting better every week. It's not like this was a fluke. Like there's been a progression here where each week he's getting better and better in this offense. I'm telling you right now, man, he's got to be like considered number one for MVP.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Maybe Russell Wilson, we come back and have an argument about it, but if Rodgers stays on this trend that he's put up these last 3 weeks, starting with the game against Philly, he's going to be MVP, hands down.
I said this, I don't know what week it was, a couple weeks ago. Aaron Rodgers looks happy, Chad, doesn't he? He just looks happy. He looks encouraged. He looks like there's hope. He looks like he has help finally. Did you see in the end zone? He did the little belt. He didn't go full belt, but he went semi-belt.
Yeah, he went half belt.
Yeah, he went half belt. The man is happy. Chad, this is a guy. He's been given one top 10 defense in his life. That was the year he won the Super Bowl. This defense looks for real. Matt LaFleur's, I don't know if he's smart or if he's dumb, but he looks better than Mike McCarthy. Aaron Jones, really good back. And how about right now, he doesn't have a healthy receiver. Alan Lazard's catching balls out there. Undrafted guy. I mean, Jake Kumaro, where the fuck did that come from?
Who the fuck is that guy?
Well, and even too, you did already talk about him running, but how about the one touchdown pass that he had to what's his name? Aaron Jones.
Beautiful.
Put it right over his shoulder. And great catch by Aaron Jones too. If that was somebody in a fucking Eagles uniform, they'd have dropped it.
I think the Packers are dangerous here. I think they're a Super Bowl team. I think they could win the Super Bowl. I really do.
If Aaron Rodgers keeps on the tear that he's been on these last 3 weeks, it's not crazy to think, and it's very. I mean, their odds to win the Super Bowl right now after these last 3 weeks, they've got to be crazy good.
He's on a fuck you tour to Mike McCarthy. Fuck you, Mike McCarthy.
I mean, they've wasted him for so long. Like
they never gave him a defense. They never went out and bought anybody in free agency. Never gave him any help. This is the first time.
Never changed their offense to not suck.
Never. Zadarius Smith in free agency. Preston Smith, Adrian Amos, they got pickup. They made some nice picks in the draft. Darnell Savage, the secondary looks really good. Kevin King. They've really put some real assets into this defense for the first time in a long time.
Well, not even that. I mean, they were drafting guys before because, they drafted HaHa Clinton Dix. It's not like they weren't bringing guys in, but, I mean, at the same time, before they were letting guys go.
Yeah.
Prime example, HaHa Clinton Dix. But this time they really went out and, before it was like, okay, we're going to ignore the defense in free agency and we're going to draft a bunch of guys. And that didn't get you anywhere. Finally, like you said, they went out and they actually signed free agents, established players in the league, and then they spent some picks on defense as well.
And really, right now, he doesn't have a ton of wide receiver threats. Devontae Adams is hurt. Valdez-Scantling and Geronimo Allison have been hurt. And he's throwing in no-name guys in there. He's always going to put up points. Give him a defense. This guy can win.
Yeah, I agree. He's helping Jimmy Graham's finally having somewhat of a good year.
I think they're dangerous. I really do. Anything else on Green Bay?
No. Look out. Somebody better figure out a way to stop Aaron Rodgers.
All right. I got one more here, Chad. Last takeaway. Before the season started, we had a little bit of a debate on the Chargers. I've never been a believer in this team.
They are who we thought they were.
Chad, this team is exactly who I thought they were. They're a good roster. Phillip Rivers can still get it done. He puts up numbers, and Austin Eckler's a good back, and they got Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Hunter Henry's really good, and Joey Bosa, Melvin Ingram, and they got a really good roster, and this team fucking sucks. 2-5. And it's not just they're 2-5. This team doesn't get the small things right constantly. They're always missing field goals. They're fumbling on the 1-yard line. They're not converting 4th and 1s. This team is coached by a running back coach that has no fucking idea what he's doing. He's never had a clue. Not a single clue. Last year he comes in, he gets a good roster, and he gets them into the playoffs. But when he finally puts his stamp on the franchise, this team can't win a lick. They had no business losing to Tennessee. They outplayed them the whole game, and they still lost, and they're fumbling on the 1-yard line. This team is fucked with Anthony Lynn. This guy is a total joke.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Couple things I noticed about the Chargers. One, off the bat, Anthony Lynn took over what? This is his 5th year?
No. This is his 2nd year.
No, it's not.
It's got to be.
He's definitely put in more than 2 years.
I'm pretty positive it's been 2 years.
We have definitely been talking about Anthony Lynn and the Chargers for at least 3 years.
I don't think so. I'm looking this up right now.
He became the Chargers head coach in 2017. So the 17 season, the 18 season. So this is his 3rd year.
All right, 3rd year.
Okay.
3rd year. So I was close.
All right.
What?
Well, so here's the thing. Going into his 1st season with the Chargers, they had kicking issues.
Yep.
2nd year, still have kicking issues. 3 years in a row, you can't kick a fucking field goal?
Yep.
What the hell? Like, you know how stupid this is?
Well, you got me. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
It's unbelievable. They're the only team that can't figure it out, ever.
Like, at least, Chicago. Cody Parkey fucked an entire season away missing field goals.
They got a kicker this year.
New guy in there.
Eddie Padiero's been great.
This is they've had 7 different kickers in 3 years, and they can't get one to make a field goal.
Oh, it's got to be more than 7. It's got to be more than 7.
That's number one. Number 2. I saw a stat. I think it's like in 4th and 1 situations, or like fourth and goal with 1 yard to go situations. Quarterback sneak works. I think it was like 78% of the time. Handing it off to the back only works about 63% of the time. The Chargers had the ball with like 2nd and 1 from the goal line, 3rd and 1 from the goal line, 4th and 1 from the goal line. Not one QB sneak.
Nope.
The
Same exact play.
Last 5 years, not Aaron Rodgers, Phillip Rivers has only done 1 QB sneak.
Why?
Anthony Lynn.
I don't
call the QB sneak, Anthony Lynn.
I don't know how they lost that game. It was almost impossible to lose that game. They outplayed them the whole game. And you got Melvin Gordon fumbling on the 1 yard line, and they handed the ball to him 600 times on the 1 yard line, and he'd never get in.
Like, play action, something.
Brutal.
That
team is too good. That team is too good to be this bad. There is no other explanation for it. Just absolutely no other explanation for it. You can't have a pass rush this good and corners this good. Their defense is pretty good. And Phillip Rivers and Keenan Allen's been awesome. Mike Williams is really... Hunter Henry's a beast. And you are 2-5 in the AFC? It's not like you're in the NFC either. This is in the depths of hell in the AFC, where nobody's good in the AFC, and you're 2-5 with that roster.
I don't get it. I don't get the Chargers. Like, we've talked about this. I picked the Chargers to win this division, and then if they didn't win the division, I said they'd be in the playoffs.
I did not.
I don't get how you don't make the playoffs with this team. It's pathetic.
Running back coach. That's what he is. Austin Eckler looks great. That's his big win.
Yeah, that's it. Austin Eckler. That's the only thing on the team that's working right now. Chargers, for their next head coach, they're going to bring in a fucking former kicker.
Kicker coach. He solved it.
They'll finally have their special teams figured out, but everything else will go to shit.
They might win more games.
Yeah, maybe. I would need both hands if I wanted to count my fingers for how many games they've lost in the last 3 years because they couldn't kick a field goal.
I'd love to know the stat on that. It's got to be at least 5.
It's got to be more than 5. Honestly, if you were counting on your hands, you'd probably need to use your toes. Run out of fingers.
Just brutal. I mean, in every home game, they don't even have like fans. It's not home games.
Well, I think that's partially LA, and I think that's partially like, would you pay to go watch them?
Hell no.
I wouldn't.
Hell no. They need a new stadium bad, or whenever that's coming in.
I'm going to 2 Eagles games, and I don't even want to fucking go.
Imagine you're rooting for this Chargers team.
I bet they don't have any season ticket holders.
All right, I can't waste another second on them. They disgust me. Really do.
Trey, closing thoughts? Anything? Football? Non-football related?
Thoughts. I'm glad the scumbag Yankees lost. That was great. You love to see that. Week 8. I think Philadelphia's going to win this week, Chad. So I think your spirits will be in a better mood.
Doesn't fucking matter. We'll win the week after that. Going for a fucking 8-8 season over here in Philly.
Listen, Howie's got to make a couple moves. That I have a post coming about the Eagles, Chad. I don't want to ruin the surprise too much. You need some linebackers. You need some corners. This defense, I don't know, man. You got issues. Your receiver.
I think this is one thing that I wanted to say last week that I didn't say, that I forgot to say. Look, I get Zach Brown did something fucking retarded. talking shit before the game.
Yeah.
How do you cut a linebacker when you don't fucking have any?
Well, you got me. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
You don't have any.
Like, find
Like
him.
Nate
Find
Nate
him.
Jerry's
Put him in timeout. But don't fucking cut him. Like, you don't have anybody to replace him with.
You got like a converted safety, Nate Jerry.
I said this. I said this after the season last year when we did our free agency show, and they didn't resign Jordan Hicks. When they didn't resign Jordan Hicks, I said it's going to bite them in the ass because they don't have any fucking linebackers. Guess what?
And they didn't draft one. They didn't draft one either.
And I said it after the draft, too. I said it was going to bite them in the ass, and it did, because they don't have any fucking linebackers. Camus Grugier-Hill, he's not bad, but that's one guy out there. You got one fucking linebacker.
You got Nate Jerry, like, I don't know what the hell he is.
I mean, he's kind of like a hybrid safety. I guess they're trying to play him at like the will linebacker spot, but still,
it's bad.
It's real bad. I can't remember if it was this week or if it was last week. He got blown up in the hole. I think it was against the Cowboys. He was in the hole and he got demolished by the fucking fullback.
I also want to talk about your receivers because, correct me if I'm wrong, but your team leads the NFL in drops. I believe that's correct.
Yes, that is correct.
And your team, I don't think anybody can win one-on-one matchups. Like, you got to pray that Alshon comes away with a jump ball and Zach Ertz gets double-teamed and Aguilar, like, refuses to try to even reel in a reception. It's bad right now, Chad. Like, I'm very concerned about your team here.
Well, again, I think it comes back to the same problem we had last year, and it comes back to what we had in the beginning of the season after Deshaun went down. We don't have a deep threat. This is 2 years in a row where we don't have a deep threat. And I said this last year. I've said it in the beginning of this year. Well, I didn't say this in the beginning of this year. Like, in 2017, at least we had, I can't even remember his fucking name.
Torrey Smith.
Thank you, Torrey Smith. At least we had Torrey Smith, where he was a deep threat. He kept them honest. So they couldn't just sit up tight, crowd the line of scrimmage, double team Zach Ertz all game. I mean, Torrey Smith ended up with like 5 fucking catches the entire season, but he kept them honest. Without Deshaun Jackson, we're seeing the same thing we saw last year.
Right now, you got a bunch of jump ball guys that are not coming away with the catches, and nobody's getting open.
It's insane, and it's driving me insane.
Did you see the Aguilar?
He's got, I don't even fucking remember what his injury is. It's been so long ago that he got fucking hurt.
Ice up, son.
Did you see the Aguilar play where he just like refused to even try to catch the ball?
He didn't even stick out a hand. He didn't even go like put his hand out like, oh my god, it's too far. Oh,
like embarrassing.
It reminded me of Ricky Waters. For who? For what?
All I know is your team needs a linebacker and a corner now. And Deshaun to get healthy.
Yeah. And if one of our defensive tackles could get healthy, that wouldn't be fucking terrible.
Oh. Blake Jackson down. Timmy Jernigan down. Now Hassan Ridgeway IR today.
I don't know how many, I swear to God, this is like when you're playing Madden and you simulate your franchise for like a couple weeks and you come back and everybody on the team is injured.
You have what it feels like. Your new starting defensive tackles, Albert Huggins. He couldn't start at Clemson. He went undrafted this year, didn't make the Texans roster. He didn't start at Clemson.
He made their practice squad.
Yeah, he made the practice squad.
Yeah, because we signed him off the practice squad.
Yeah.
So, I mean, eventually I guess we're going to cycle back to a year where we stay healthy. Because last year, all of our corners got injured. This year, all of our D tackles got injured. I guess next year, all of our defensive ends are going to get injured. Eventually, we'll come back around and everybody will stay healthy for the entire season.
All right, Chad. Sorry, I had to get you wound up.
You have anything else, Trey?
No, that's it.
All right. Well, thanks for giving us a listen. Don't forget to give us a follow on Twitter and like us on Facebook. The main website, vendettasportsmedia.com. On Twitter, vendetta_media. Check us out on Facebook. Don't forget to give me a follow at lowfooted, LILFWOTED. And don't forget to follow Trey at Trey Daubert, TREYDAUBERT. Other than that, thanks for giving us a listen, and we'll see you next week.